Hi, so I filmed the first few minutes of this video, and I hadn't pressed record. I was just talking. I was just like in the mood. So, I guess this is gonna be my first like get ready with me type thing, except I'm not going anywhere. This is not the beginning of my day. I'm actually probably going to put makeup on, remove it, and then do my skincare for the night. Um, I kind of just felt like playing with the makeup, and I don't do it a lot. And I was like, that'd be a nice idea. Um, and I think, honestly, probably what I want to talk about outside of makeup is gonna be this K drama that I finished today. So obviously, no one here knows me. I like the international entertainments, um, some of them, and in that category, I really like K dramas, and I wanted to, give it a little try. Hmm. Do I have my? Okay, I do. I just thought to myself, I was like, do I have an eyebrow pencil? I do. I have a black eyebrow pencil somewhere, and I cannot find it for the life of me. It's very, very sad. But give me a minute. Hold on. Let me see. Okay. The answer was no. But all's well that ends well. We'll make do with it. Maybe my eyebrows will just disappear because this is what I have to work with to start with, and the pencil I have is veering on gray. Okay, so I have really like two different foundations I want to try. So this is like foundation I bought a while ago. This is from this Korean brand called Innisfree. I buy a lot of like my skincare stuff from there, because I've been to Korea before, so I've like had the chance to use a lot of the products and test them out. They have a lot of free samples out, so I was able to try, this and that, and I bought a fair amount of stuff. But I had never tried their makeup while I was there because, and I got this, and as you can see, this is a little yellow. However, I just wanted to, I got this like sample from the Sephora collection, and I wanted to try it versus a darker foundation just to see, how it holds up for me. Because here's the thing, I guess I had tried this on my chest because that's what they're like, oh, match it to your chest. Like, I think my face is a little darker, a little redder, but to me it just looked a little too yellow. So actually what I want to do is like do like a half and half, but that might be a little too like ambitious for today. I'm just gonna try the darkest shade of the Sephora one just to see how it sits on me, or maybe like the second darkest, if I can get it. So, but about that K-drama I was talking about. So I watched this drama. I finished it tonight. It is called Mystic Popup Bar. It has one of my favorite Korean actresses. Her name is Hwang Jung. I've seen her in so many things. She is like, if it's comedy, she knocks it out the park. If it's like rom-com, she knocks it out the park. If it's like, oh no, you're like, if it's like tragedy, knocks it out the park. She's just chef's kiss, phenomenal. I love her. So I try to watch the things she was in, and and it came out last year, and I just didn't watch it, and then I saw it was on Netflix. I was like, oh, I wanted to see this. Okay, That was a little harder than. I wonder how, I'll use the second darkest one to see just how it shears out. Worst case scenario, um, I try again another one. Why not? So what is this? This is 55 neutral. So this is another thing. Like, I don't, again, I'm no, like, beauty guru, but, they say, like, to match your, like, undertones. And I can't, I feel like up here, I feel like I'm red. And, I would love for someone to tell me, like, otherwise. But I feel like my undertone is a little reddish. And, like, it's really hard for me, like, when people are like, oh, like, some people, I'm like, okay, I get it. You're clearly, pink, right? You're clearly yellow. For some people, it's just so clear. But, like, some people are like, oh, yeah, well, I'm kind of olive undertone. And I'm like, well, but what is that? I don't know. Oh, I almost forgot. So, usually, like, obviously, usually you would have some stuff on, right? I have, the skincare that you use. I'm gonna take this off as soon as I put it on, so. But I like to put this on. It's, from Soko Glam. It's from Aqua. Look how faded the label is. I've enjoyed it. I really like things that have like a spray application. I just feel like they they feel good. They do. Like I've told people before, because someone told me, they were like, oh, not this one, but another product that I bought from another place. They were like, that's basically just like scent and water, and I was like, I don't care. It feels good, smells good. Why not? Like it, I would have understood their point if it was like an exuberant price. Like, how sometimes someone buys something and they're like, oh, they just like it. They just get it just cause, and you're like, then you find out it's like $50, and you're like, just cause. But that's not the case with that. So I'm going to take this 55 neutral shade that they have. I probably should like dab it. Oh. That's a little light. That still looks light to me. But hold on, let me go ahead and put this on. Like, dab it on. Okay. I need to get a new foundation brush. I'm not. I'm not much of like a sponge person. I just. I only have a sponges right now. A sponge. I only have sponges. Plural. But they are on their last legs as well. Where did my foundation go? Oh yeah, this is just too light for me. That's what it is. It's too late though. I've already opened it. Now I know. Okay? Now I know to go with something darker. But this didn't look like, I feel like it leaned. I feel like this isn't giving me neutral, and like it's listed as neutral. But anyway, so with, ooh, that's, yeah. Where is my small mirror? Oh. Yeah. Okay, so I said I was gonna. Okay, so in it, it's the story of like this girl back in like, we go back 500 years. What, the six? I guess the 1500s in Korea, because she's this woman. You find out this spirit, ethereal being. I'm not sure how she should be referred to specifically, but she years ago was the daughter of a shaman, and she herself had like shaman like abilities. And her mom told her to stop going around telling people about her powers, helping people out, putting herself out there. Her mom was like, it's dangerous. And I'm sure you already know that she didn't listen to her mom, because whoever does, right? So, people in the village, they talk about her powers, and then you find out that, like, there's a monarchy in their time, and the, like, prince, the crown prince, is, like, having trouble in his sleep. He's, like, not waking up, but he's not dead. They're really worried. They're like, he might die at this rate. And they're at, like, this sacred tree praying, and she hears about this girl. She's like, bring her to me. And, said girl in question can, like, help people in their dreams. There's a lot of, like, Korean folklore in this. So it's actually, like, really fun and interesting. Because you also get to hear, like, little tidbits of this and that, right? So during her time, like, helping the prince in his dreams, they end up falling in love. And, she's not royalty, right? So I think you all know where that story goes. So no, her mom has, like, a vision that someone is, like, going to come and try and, like, kill her. And I can't say that. That's a spoiler. Well, anyway, so her mom, actually, I'm going to say spoilers in here. So just, like, don't mind me, okay? No one's going to watch this anyway. So her mom is like, okay, dress up like me. I'm going to dress up like you. I'm going to be here. And she's like, you need to go to the next town and stay with, like, your uncle. Something like that. Anyway, she, her daughter listens this time because her mom is so serious. And, that looks kind of nice. Hmm. Anyway, so her mom, finds out. Mom goes through with the plan, and while the girl is like running away, she gets to like a certain point, and she can like, I don't know. She sees smoke come from her house. She realizes that her house is burning down. Um, Goes finds out her mom has been like assassinated, which I mean, she was kind of too surprised for what happened, considering her mom being like, look, like I feel like it's supposed to be the type of thing where like in the moment she didn't really understand, maybe. Ooh, that's one pump. Let it smooth that out the way, man. Okay, but and she's on top of that, like she thinks that to some degree this is the prince's fault, because wouldn't have happened if they hadn't ended up together. And he was like, in the over the course of it, you do see that he was like he was very like insistent upon being with her. She kind of like blames him to an extent, and he did say he was like, I'm gonna protect you no matter what. I promise. I swear it on all my honor. He didn't say my aunt. That's just like that's what like dudes say. And in things, they're like, oh, I promise I won't let anything ever happen to you. And then everybody's still surprised when something happens. So then you see her, like, over the years, basically, she went to get like her judgment at like the gates of the afterlife, and they were like, oh, I skipped the part. So what happens is she ends up committing suicide and like on the sacred tree that I mentioned earlier, and like cursing like everybody who's up. She's heartbroken inside for honestly mostly for her mom at that point. Like honestly, they don't bring up her mom enough later on in the show, considering how much she like cared for her. They really just focus on her. Ooh, no man, I'll fix it. They really just focus on her would have been. They're not really. They don't. If this is, I guess, going to be an early on complaint, I want to say they put a lot of focus on her relationship with the prince, the past relationship, and whatnot, and it makes sense, but at the same time, they're not in depth enough to give you like information as to just how far their relationship actually went. You know what I mean? Because there's a really big like plot point that happens later on that's really that should be dependent on, you know, knowledge that they don't give you. They just tell you, and like I feel like in terms of story it made sense, but like if you were actually like looking at the story, you would never like you didn't see the parts or anything that could even hint at the parts that would lead you to believe that this conclusion had happened. And like, you know, it's it's a TV show. They should have shown it. That's just me though. But anyway, so over the years, as punishment for like committing suicide on that sacred tree, I guess that sacred tree was like helping keep people alive and stuff. She has to solve like 100,000 grudges, um, like through people's dreams, help people, and apparently that's somewhat of a difficult thing to do, especially I think because she's based in Korea. You know, she's there the whole time. So what happens is we come back to 500 years later, and now she runs a um, I guess in English, but the English they've translated to is pop-up bar. Um, they're like they're called like pochas, and in Korea they're like these like tent bars. Um, they're like tent snack bars, to be honest. Um, and obviously, you know, since they're in like this kind of tent like thing, they are kind of like movable. But like when I was there, most of the people who had them were kind of consistent in their placement. But I guess they do kind of like pop up. That looks nice. I think that I think that turned out well for me. Okay. So here's the thing. Let's see. Do I think it looks good? Yes. Yes. I guess that's all. And I think it looks very. Okay. I think it looks very skin-like. And now I know this is more of a concealer shade. Okay, I can make do with that. What is next? Again, this is not going to be too adventurous, so let's see. I am going to use the Sailor Moon palette. Why, you may ask? Because I have it. Because it's here. It's been paid for, and it's got to be used. I'm going to take these dirty old brushes and see if I can do anything kind of sort of worthwhile. We will worry about other things later. Okay, so what's next? So anyway, in around her area, like in at her point in time now, her time to like finish up her 10,000 grudges, they've put a time limit on it. There was one previously, and I guess like she's just over time been like getting them to give her like extensions and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Oh, I should try eyebrows first. I should try. The keyword is try. So, what happens? You find out in her modern time that she has about 10. She has 10. Excuse me. Hold on. Drop my brush. She has 10 grudges to feel. I just scratched that. Oh, no. Oh, didn't change anything? Okay, hold on. She has 10 left. But she said she's having trouble with it. She and her manager of sorts, Gui Banjang. Yes. And what happens is basically the people, the higher ups from up above, they came down and they were like, "Hey, you have 1 month left to finish these 10 grudges." And she's like, "Oh no, that's kind of sort of impossible." And they're like, "Well, make it work, because we've given you time. It's been 500 years. Get it together, or else you're gonna go to hell." But she's got to make do with that. So she's going around. She's looking for things to do, and she ends up going to this grocery store. And at this grocery store that we get introduced to, we meet our next character, like our next like main character, because there's really like 3 main characters. So there's the Hwang Jung-eum's character is Woo-ju, and then there's Gui Banjang, who is like the manager, and he's really important. He becomes like, at first he seems like he's just kind of there to be like kind of like a witty guy, break the tension at points, because like Woo-ju is kind of hot-tempered, but she's also spent like the last 500 years having to solve people's problems, and apparently they're not always easy to solve. But here at the grocery store, we meet our next like main character, and his name is Han Kang-bae. And Han Kang-bae is like, he's like a younger, mid-20s dude. He works at a grocery store, like a chain grocery store, and he has some problems. And like, you quickly realize he has a problem. He's this like really unique problem where when he touches people, they just say whatever like problems are on their mind. They confess whatever it is that's like hidden inside, and but like it's not that they just like blurt it out. They like chase him down and like bother him and stuff. He's really bothered by it, and apparently like over the years, it's cost him friendship. It's cost him the ability to socialize, because realistically, you have to touch people, and he would touch people, and then they would say things that they didn't really want other people to hear, and then he'd be that guy, and then he'd be that guy who they always end up saying what they don't want to around, and people didn't like that. And he's kind of like, technically, I would say he's like, he might he might be like the second main. I feel like he might be just a little bit more important than Gui Banjang, but he's not like the main. And it's debatable. Him and Gui Banjang might even be like on the same level, but how should I say this? He's had an unfortunate life in the way that usually makes you like the main character. Like, he grew up in an orphanage, and he has this secret special ability that makes people like run away. And he has no friends and no family. Did I mention he grew up in an orphanage? I think I did. He was like an outcast and like bullied in like high school and stuff for both his the things that happened around him, um, and the fact that he has like no parents. So he has kind of a life around him, and he's just like, he's under this like constant stress of like trying to make sure he doesn't touch people, and like coming across as like unfriendly, like he doesn't like certain people, when really he just doesn't want them to be upset with him because of his ability. So what happens, and the show is really episodic. So there's like a special case each episode, for of the like 10 that are, as I mentioned. And so what happens is that, how should I say this? There's a girl that you're also introduced to, and they got me with this. It was a bait and switch. Like, I guess technically I never saw this girl in the promo, but she had a familiar looking face, and I was like, oh, she must be like supporting a main supporting character, That's what I was thinking, right? Because they were focusing on her a lot, and I didn't know it was going to be so as episodic as it was. Because like it has that like overarching plot, but other than that, there was also kind of like this little. It really depends. I want to. Sometimes it's lighthearted. They can be lighthearted about a serious issue to make it a little bit more easier to swallow without being like too disrespectful to it. But like essentially, there's this girl who our boy Hong Kong Bay works with, and he's walking down the street one day, and she like jumps into the road, tries to get hit by a car, suicide, right? And she was like drunk though, and he was very concerned for the obvious reasons. Like, she's like crying and stuff. He takes her to the pop-up bar, to the pocha, and I don't have any mascara. I forgot. Oops. Too bad. And so he takes her there, and now I've skipped a few things just because I don't want to give you like a episode cap for cap, right? And Warrior Chu, Wang Jungham's character, tries to help her, right? And there's a special drink that she has. It puts people to sleep, and it lets her go into their dreams, to see their concerns, their inner thoughts and whatnot. Also, can I say this real quick? These palettes should have mirrors. I'm sorry. They should have mirrors. It just, like, it irritates me because it's like, imagine if it had a mirror. mean, I guess I can do like a pink. Like an all over pink. Or basic. I'm just having fun. Why not an all over pink? Such a dusty formula though. Anyway, so they give her that little sneak in your dream drink, and they send Hong Kong Day away. And usually, what's supposed to happen is a regular person will walk away, and once they enter into the dream, like the puja becomes like or not even invisible, it disappears because it's not really like a real world tangible item. It's like, this mystical thing. It all belongs to the other world. So essentially, you can only see it when they want you to see it. Like kind of like ghosts. Think of like how there's all those things that like ghosts show themselves to whoever they want. It's like that. Imagine if the colors in this were darker. Imagine. So anyway, but as I discussed, Han Kang Bei had this really specific power where he could see people. I mean, where people would reveal their innermost complaints and truths to him. Right? Well, apparently that's like connected to his like spiritual sight ability. So what happened is he left, and when the mark disappeared for everyone else, he could still see it. Like it was a moment where we're like, he was like, this is weird. He's like, maybe I drank too much. Went back in, and he sees the girl he brought just like sleeping on the table, like passed out. And he was like, oh my gosh, let me wake her up. Let me take her home. Let me be a gentleman. Okay? But when he touches her, he ends up going into her dream. And girly Hwang Jung-im's character sees him and is like, how did you get in here? He's like, what? In a dream? No. Anyway, so while he's in there, they find out what's really wrong and what happened and why she's so. The girl was like thinking about giving up on life, and they fixed the problem. And at the end of it, Hwang Jung-im's character realizes, oh my gosh, if I get him to like bring, help out here, bring me customers, all he has to do is give them a little tap, and they will tell me their grudges. I can settle the grudges. Bing, bang, bam. I'm done. I get to go to heaven. I get to, I get to finish up here, get these last 10 grudges really fast. And that's like the start of the series. It's been like the next episodes, like getting him on board with it, because he was like, he doesn't want to, doesn't want to take part in something like that. Kind of hates having his ability, doesn't want to use it anymore, and she basically promises him, kind of ambiguously in the beginning anyway, that she can help him get rid of his sight. She can fix his problem. And eventually, with that and the combination of like realizing that he wants to help, Mm. Let's just turn that off right now. With that in the realization that he just wants to help others, that he likes being of use. It's the first time he's been able to use his power and like do something for people. He kind of ends up agreeing to it, but also like he does really still want to get rid of it because and several times throughout the series he kind of mentions that his biggest issue is hearing such deep personal problems from people and he can't even do anything about it. Like someone will come up to him and he'll touch they'll have like bumped hands and they'll tell them something really personal, really private, and he can't even do anything. He's just gotta walk away with that on him. And I thought about that. And I was like, that'd be really like hard. Like obviously like there's like therapists, right? And like they get paid for people to kind of like emotionally dump on them, but like they also are there, but they're getting paid not just to listen to them, but to help them, like to help them through it, to help them like analyze their emotions, to help them find positive ways of channeling their energy into something else, something that might make them like happier. I think that's kind of nice of me. Ooh, that's a little. See, if you focus on it, this is like the love color in it. If you use it really carefully, it comes out to a pretty color. But like, it's the fact that you saw me like I had to be like, because it's really dusty. If you don't like, I've used this several times. Like, I don't. Can you? How well can you see this? You see like all of that, like just a little bit causes like a lot of like fallout, a lot of kickback. But if you're like consistent with it, you can get it to a really nice place, and that's what I try. So in this, like I've used, because like I feel like this isn't bad color payoff at all. It's just that like in this palette, like this isn't really a color for me. This isn't really a color for me. This isn't really a color for me. This is like the world's worst pressed glitter. And I don't really like it really much anyway. These two, they're sparkles, but they're like metallic like sparkles, but they're kind of like really sheer. I don't know how to explain it. Um, and then like these are workable. Like the bottom were a row I can work with. I can work with this, and this, but like really this just like has a weird texture to it. Like technically I can work with it, but it's like, am I going to now? Actually, let me like swatch that. When's the last time like I don't know, like it's not that it spreads badly, but it almost like comes off kind of like chunky ish, and I feel like it looks more like a highlight shade. And then this is silver crystal, which is like if there's one thing I also think about this name that's a little, I mean this palette is a little. It's like some of the names I don't think really correspond to their like why is the pink like shimmer metallic type thing? Why is it called silver crystal? Why wouldn't you give that to something that looks a little more silver? I don't know. And then this other one, like this one right here, like in person, it's, I mean, well, no, even in the pan, it looks like pretty gold. I think on camera too. And that one's like a, it's a shadow with the absolute like lightest payoff. Like maybe you could use it as like an inner corner highlight. I'm not gonna do that. It just seems too soft for that. And there's this shade called Full Moon. And this one is more like a gold. It's got a little bit more payoff. They're just like, all in all, I really don't use most of this, which is why I still think they should make a new Sailor Moon collection, because they can do like, yeah, they can do like quads for like each Sailor Senshi. Oh, let me do, while I'm out here, might as well get this purple one. The purple one, Luna, is actually really pretty. I dislike that it's called Luna though, because Luna is a black cat. It's actually, yeah, like, look at that. It's so pretty. That I've used. I put that over top of that because I was like, why not? Anyway, that's it for that. We're not getting too ambitious with the eyeshadow. I don't remember where I was in my talk, the story. I think I was talking about how they were trying to get him, and eventually they did get him. And then you get really just a lot of like backstory for each of the characters, you know, some of their motivations, some of the things they really feel personal about, some of their personal stories. Even with like the small, like, once every episode, the episodic characters. I don't know, they end up doing well, I think. I don't know, it's really fun to me. I don't have any blush either. Wait. Oh. So this is actually the like color that came with the set, and every once in a while I retry this on just to see how things go. But you know what? I just realized I can do some eyeliner. Do I want to though? Where is my mirror? Decided to grab something else while I was out. This video ended up being like so much longer than I originally anticipated. But it's good because I'm really using these as a way to get more comfortable. You can see that. Oh no. Oh no. That's unsalvageable. I'm sorry. Well, you win some, you lose some. One of my dreams is to one day get good enough to put on my own eyeliner, because I am not. See, do you see that? Do you see how bad I am? But that's why I said this is not really a get ready with me. This is really a play with makeup. You know what I want to try while I'm here, since I already messed up? That inner corner one everybody does, you know, where people are like, oh, let me just. It looks horrible. I'm sorry. I know no one was rooting for me, but like now you're probably actively against me. Let me see if I can fix it. I can. I'm sorry. I was so close. But now we're gonna put on the blotted lip. To be honest, I don't particularly like it. It's really one of those things that I keep using. So one day I can find the way to use it. So that it's useful. Thus far, all I found out is that my lips really need to be moisturized before I put that to my lips. That's it. For everything else, I'll give that a minute. Okay, so, most chaotic, like, review of a show ever, right, up to this point. However, it is a great show. I really don't really know how to format, a discussion on something like that by myself. But I want to learn. I think my biggest issue is me not being sure, like, whether or not I'm crossing the line into too much information or not. Because I'm definitely like, I'm definitely giving you enough information for you to be like, yeah, that's not a synopsis. But I would also just like to talk with somebody about Mystic Popup Bar. Anyway, obviously I'm probably not gonna. It's a 12 episode thing, and each episode is like an hour long. However, it was a very good show. I finished it. I liked it. I liked I think I liked all of the actors too. They just all made sense for their roles. Absolutely, positively my least favorite, like, lip product. You know, it doesn't look that bad on screen. I'm kind of upset about that. Because I feel like it looks bad in person. Okay, that's good for that. I don't know. I feel like I'm looking on camera right now, and it looks really good. And I feel like that's deception. Like, it looks like a really nicely pigmented lip gloss. And maybe I should try. Like, maybe this is what it looks like in the perspective of a different person. I don't know. I think I could use a liner though. I'm not gonna put one on though. It's too much work. I would have put one on first. Would have put one on first if I was gonna. I need to get. I want to blush like this color. I'm gonna try the Rare Beauty one. Anyway, this is the like gloss that came with the bundle. And I really hate like getting colors mixed, and this is such like a colored gloss, I would notice. So I put it on the back of my hand, and then I put it directly on the lip. Okay, that looks. If I ignore the eyeliner, this looks still like a low grade job. My base is nice though. My base is nice, but like, I don't know why. I feel like my nose, for some reason, like, I'm never a big fan of my nose in general, but I feel like my nose looks like really. Ooh. I feel like my nose looks like really big right now. I guess it's just on camera. I don't know. I need to get a new bronzer. Okay, but now that we've come to this point. I've used a little bit of my time up. Now, look at all like glitter on my back of my hand. That's actually, another thing I would say I dislike about the Sailor Moon stuff. It's very glittery. And I'm not saying that, like, doesn't match Sailor Moon. Me, I don't like it. I'm not a super glitter person. Could I be, though? Okay. So, hold on one moment. Now we're gonna remove the makeup. Man, I'm so mad that this lip looks so good. For why? That was not a setting spray. Oh, hold on one moment. Hey, girls around the world, hey. Ooh, you make me woo. Hey. How many do I have? Oh my gosh, I'm almost out of my cotton squares. I've actually been using these for almost a full year. And I think they are my new favorite kind. The only other kind that I want to try are the ones from Claire's. I've never tried anything from Claire's though. So this is a cleansing toner. It is the Real Flower Cleansing Water Calendula from Neogen. I love Socoglam. I think I mentioned it an hour ago. With the spray that I used. And please don't mind my face. You're probably like, why is your face so red? When I don't know why. I've never known it to happen to many other, black people. But, I'm the type of person where, I'll touch myself and, parts of me will get red. Do you see that? It's weird, right? It wasn't red before, but... I had washed my face before, and now I'm just getting whatever remains. Okay, I think that's good for me. I'm gonna exfoliate. It might be a little too much tonight, saying all the playing I just did with my face, but I think it's also been a while since I last did it, so I think my skin is due an exfoliation. So this is the Jumiso Yes I Am toner. That's an AHA. I like it. Ooh, that was a little too much. Hey. What I will say about this, this one, I think it works. If you have sensitive skin, I wouldn't try it. I don't know about other exfoliants so much, like how good they are in general for people with like sensitive skin, because you guys still have to exfoliate. But this one, like I think you can tell, like my skin's not like perfection or anything, but I've never been someone prone to like breakouts. I think you can see maybe I have like that's like a spot of discoloration, and I get some about the bottom of my chin, where like I get like how chin hairs will grow, and sometimes like they will just like be ingrown and I have to pick them out. But like for me, who does not have a lot of issues other than like, I don't even want to say dry skin, flaky skin. Like when, like it's not that my skin is constantly dry. It's that when my skin is dry, my skin is flaky, and I hate that. But like this stuff, like to me, tingles. Like I can feel it. And one time, like when I first got it, I wasn't paying attention. Sometimes when I like start toning, I will do it a few times because I like the process of toning. It's like my favorite part of skincare, unless there's like some other spray. It's just very relaxing. This is very easily something I can do that like just ends up where you keep on going. And I think I took like 3 of these pads and went in 3 times with that, and I was like, oh my gosh, for a while. Ooh. And I learned my mistake. And even then, like it didn't like I didn't have anything bad happen to me, but I just really felt it. And even with that, like honestly, on the first time you do feel it a little bit. So if you have sensitive skin, I wouldn't try it whatsoever. Um, since I'm one like we exfoliating tonight, my other one, I have this like glycolic acid cream. But you know, before that, I will probably. Where'd it go? What's this? Oh, no, it's this. Okay. Sorry, there was something I wanted to look at. No, that's not it. Oh. It's this one. Let me see. Hold on. No, I won't do it. And you know, I will. I'll just use these ones. So this, I feel like after using this toner, this is just a nice little spritz for me. And I spray that stuff liberally. I really do. I spray it so liberally. But again, I enjoy applying it. And it sits well, especially like in the summer. In the summer, even if you don't get this, get you some kind of like skincare spray type thing. It feels so good, especially like when you have those days when you're out and about. Like get you like honestly like even this might like I like this. Get you some type of mist to carry in like your bag. It's really nice when you're out. I know a lot more people are planning to be out this year. This summer as opposed to last summer. And it feels good. Like when you're just like you're hot and you're just like, man, I just need a little something. This like it disappears like relatively quickly in a hot environment. Um, but I don't know, it's nice to me. It feels good for the moment. That being said, if you do that, like don't do it over a sweaty space. That's kind of, you know, like I'm not the type to sweat a lot right here. If you are, don't just ignore what I said. And if you're like in a colder area, a cooler climate, I honestly it still feels good. But you might have to like press it in. Mm-hmm. Anyway, this is how you get that like glass skin s type of look. So this is that from Acute. This is the glycolic acid cream. Now this is apparently an AHA and a BHA. Um, this one, I don't know if it's like I know what the like percentages of them are. I just I don't know how effective this is in comparison. And I mean in turn because like well first of all, I mean they are a little different. This one has like salicylic acid and glycolic, right? Because it's a glycolic acid cream. No, I gotta pick that up. But the Jumiso toner, let me get like the actual specifics. So the Jumiso toner is 3.2 glycolic acid and 1.5 lactic acid. I'm not sure, is that what makes it? I don't know. But this one does not have like a like I don't like, you know, both of them I'm putting acid on my face. This one like kind of feels like you're putting acid on your face. Like in a very small quantity. But again, like I said, you feel it. This is basically like an exfoliating moisturizer. And as with other exfoliation type products, do not put them on every day. Mm-hmm. And like when people say glass skin, like this is honestly like the type of thing that you want. Just it's about layering the products and getting that like look of hydration. Anyway, I always like to end off with making sure I put on a little bit more of my... Now this is a lip sleeping mask. I use it as a regular... I use it as a regular, like... Oh. Lip balm. Which, like, they say you can. Like, they're like, oh, you can... What did they say? They said... Yeah, it's moist. It's a multi-purpose lip sleeping mask and moisturizing balm that gently exfoliates lips while creating a beautiful satin finish as it keeps hydration. So you put on a small amount if you're like doing it as a balm, and a lot if you're using it as a overnight mask. But honestly, I don't like. I've tried using a lot, and I don't feel like there's just a significant difference. So just putting on like the average amount. And that's it. I've dragged this on far too long. It was truly a chaotic video. But I think I feel like I was a lot more here. Hopefully next time the ADHD will keep me hopefully next time the ADHD won't keep me from going here and here and here and here and here and losing my mirror when it's right in front of me. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you actually took the time and if you actually made it to the end of this video, wow. I mean, thanks, I guess. Okay, goodbye.